Okay, what we're going to do now is derive the power rule for even when powers are icky and it doesn't feel like the product rule at all. We are going to start this one the same way we've been starting all of the others. I'm going to write down y equals x to the nth. And the goal then is to find y prime. Now the problem here is the power. The only thing you can actually do to get down the power is take the logarithm both sides. So I'm going to take the natural logarithm of both sides. So here's the natural logarithm on the left-hand side. When I take the natural logarithm of the right-hand side, the n comes down. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is that's why the n comes down in the power rule, is because it comes down for logarithms. That makes logarithms a fundamental tool of just about everything that underscores the power rule. Remember, now what we want to do is take the derivative with respect to x of both sides. So I'll do this, hopefully not running out of room, but if I do, I'll just erase stuff at the top. I get the ln of y, like that. And we'll just write the whole thing. I want the derivative of both sides. All right. Now, right-hand side first. Remember, n's a constant. This is a power function, so the variable's in the base, a constant's in the top. So the n's just a coefficient. It goes along for the ride, like this. The derivative of ln of x is just 1 over x. So far, so good. Now, the left-hand side, remember, that's not the ln of x, that's ln of y. And y is a mess, right? So this is the derivative of the ln of blob. We use the chain rule. The derivative of the ln of blob is 1 over the blob, like that, times the derivative of the blob, like that. I think we have just enough room to be able to write the answer at the bottom. I'm going to multiply both sides by y. So I'm going to write y prime equals n times 1 over x times y. Now that is a correct derivative, but my original function, x to the n, did not have a y in it, right? So I'm going to go back here and put my x to the n back in, right? And so what I get is n times 1 over x times x to the n. And one more thing, that's almost the power rule, right? I know that this x to the n divided by my x here is going to give me x to the n minus 1. Now where did the n minus 1 come from? It's because this 1 over x, which was the derivative of the logarithm, is actually forcing that degree to go down by 1. So even the lowering of the power comes from the derivative of the ln of x. The bringing down the n comes from the properties of ln of x. And what we'll do is just put this, actually the answer in a little box. How about right here? We'll just say it's n times x to the n minus 1. But that actually shows itself to be a very, very deep fact, not one that's actually trivial at all. Easy to use, easiest one to use, hardest one to understand.